The recent years have been marked by an upsurge in the demand for democracy and human freedoms. Afghanistan in Central Asia has been at the forefront of the democratic transition during the last decade and more. UNDP has been the principal ally of the government of Afghanistan in shaping its new democratic future. The work on improving the capacity of the state to deliver clean and responsive governance has spanned efforts aimed at conducting free and fair elections to state institutions and ministries more transparent and responsive, from efforts to work with the government for effective aid utilization and delivery of basic services to assisting efforts to usher in greater public accountability in the vital offices of the presidency. Free and fair elections in which everyone has a chance to participate help to reinforce people's confidence in the government. For years, UNDP has been supporting transparency and democratic traditions through its ELECT program. This program has been working to strengthen the functionality of the Independent Electoral Commission (IEC) for planning and conducting free and fair elections in Afghanistan.
Everyone is aware that election is still new to the Afghans, and we don't have much experience, and we don't have more technical people. That's why there is a demand, and we have asked UNDP colleagues to provide assistance to the Independent Election Commission, and they did provide it. If we compare the 2009 and 10 election with 2004 and 3, we had a lot of advisors at that time, or they were directly working with their Afghan brothers. But for 2010 and 9, it was dramatically there. The number of advisors became down. It was from 500 went to 50 people.
More than 4 million Afghans voted in the country's 2010 parliamentary election. It is a steady progress, but with a total population of almost 30 million, Afghan officials realize they still have a long way to go.
For the good election, we have changed our methodology. It means we are approaching to the political parties to get assistance from them. We are approaching to the civil societies to get support from them. We are approaching to the security organization, and that's why I'm a bit sure that we are going to the positive side and we will have a better election than the previous election.
Restoring confidence of the common man in the government's capacity to deliver clean and efficient public services is at the heart of the transparency agenda. UNDP has helped several key Afghan ministries to carry out a vulnerability to corruption assessment. These assessments have given a new direction to the government's efforts to curb the corrosive impact of corruption in the delivery of basic services.
Ministry of Education also constitutes 70% of the civil servant of the country. Now, if this is our aim, is to make it absolutely corruption-free organization. Now, if we can make Ministry of Education a corruption-free organization, this means 70% of the civil servant of Afghanistan are corruption-free. And in this office, in every provincial office, there is a complaint officer. So complaint officer is sitting in, and he or she is registering and taking and accepting the complaint. The complaint mechanism that we have is, we have been able to change the attitude of the Afghan people toward education. In the last 3 years, we have been able to reopen 500 of the schools which were closed because of insecurity.
The Office of the President and the offices of the First and Second Vice President represent the central authority in the unitary system of government, the one that Afghanistan has embraced. In their initial days of functioning, these offices encountered constraints in nearly every aspect of their functioning, from the technical to the professional capacity needed to run such high offices.
یک سلسله مشکلات سر راه ما برداشته شده و با توجه با کمک‌هایی که صورت گرفته از جامعه جهانی در رابطه با ظرفیت سازی بخصوص اداره UNDP که در ارتباط به حکومت سازی خوبتر و بهتر به افغانستان اینا آغاز کردن کار.
The offices of the two vice presidents complement the efforts of the president to be more transparent and responsive to public aspirations at all times. The UNDP designed and equipped State Citizenry Exchange Center in the vice president's office, expected to respond in real time to public grievances and complaints from various parts of the country.
در ارتباط با روابط عمومی ما، رابطه ما با مردم، با اقشار مردم، با ادارات، با ولایات، یا در ارتباط با راستای کاری که ما چطور بتانیم که خواستهای مردم، نیازمندی‌های مردم با توجه به درخواست‌ها و تقاضاهایی که مردم دارند از طریق غرایزشان شفاهی یا تحریری به مشکلاتشان برسیم. قدم‌های برداشته شده، یک سلسله کارا شده از لحاظ تکنیکی.
Unless a country can pay its bills, the government cannot function, which makes the Ministry of Finance important, perhaps the most important ministry for any government. How well does Afghanistan do then? The most recent budget planning cycle provided a tough test and evidence of capacity built.
In 2005, when I joined this ministry, the three top challenges in my department, which manages the budget, treasury, fiscal policy, and aid, was first human capacity. At that time, only 10% of the job was done by us, 90% by international consultants. We exactly focused on these challenges. We built the capacity. As I said, now 99% of all job is done by the locals. And it's a great achievement. And it is now the international financial institutions, they are rating Afghanistan not only comparable, but even higher compared to many other countries in the region.
For 2012, the government of Afghanistan adjusted its fiscal year to better match anticipated foreign aid flows. The aim was to better manage spending, where in the past yearly unspent aid levels have been used as justification for the high levels of off-budget aid, which is 82%, still managed by donors themselves. For 2012, the Afghan fiscal year spanned only 9 months. But this fiscal year adjustment also highlighted the extent of improved capacity in this key ministry and suggests that it's time for donors to place more of their funding through the Afghan budget.
In July last year, we had an international conference in Tokyo about Afghanistan, and where we requested the international community to channel at least 50% of their funds through the budget. And that's not only a good achievement, but it will be a big challenge if we could not spend it on time and transparently and accountably.
For Afghanistan, it is still early days on the long road to real human freedoms and democracy, but the journey has started as the country looks with hope towards a future where governance means people first. From advancing integrity and transparency in public life to enabling citizens to speak up and be counted, the agenda for deepening democracy is well mapped out. The years ahead will show the way to an Afghanistan where every citizen is able to reap the rewards of good and participatory governance.